Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received. So I'm going to try to narrate the confession for you. Strange things, indeed, they do happen in this world. The narration of the message, it reads like this. Hello, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I am a man, you will call me Tawanda. I joined Satanism when I was a student here in Canada, and then I was given a mission to go and destroy a pastor. But when I joined Satanism, what I used to think is when someone joined Satanism, you have to do blood offerings and you have to sacrifice your whole family. But that did not happen. And I wish that if there are parents that have their own kids that are at universities in different parts of the world, please at all the times pray for your kids so that they will never come across friends that will make them to join things that are not okay. I still remember coming here to Canada. This was in September 2011. When I came here, I was so excited. I was 23, fresh out of the University of Zim Faculty of Commerce. I had gotten a scholarship letter for an MBA program. I had fought tooth and nail to get that scholarship. My head was spinning with excitement. New country, new friends, new opportunities in life. But what I did not know was that this opportunity that I was so excited about, it was going to destroy my life. My life was going to be full of demonic activity, and I was going to meet someone who will make me to join Satanism, and I would regret. Even right now, to explain to my family back home in Harare, they will never understand these things if I was to tell them. When I came here, the campus was so big and it was so different from the University of Zim as I knew it. Here it was much more beautiful. I then moved into a shared apartment, 2 Somali guys as well as a Filipino guys. So these people, they were just racist. They did not like to be friends with me. They will do their own stuff, the 3 of them. And as for me, I came from a family that was not wealthy. And when I would watch them, you could tell that these people, they come from a very wealthy families and they just came to Canada to study and then to be able to get citizenship. It was not about studying, but they just wanted to come and stay in Canada. And they always had the latest laptops. They always were wearing nice clothes. So I started doing my own thing, and they will do whatever that they will do. And they will go out clubbing whilst I will be reading as well as praying. Classes began and we were given case studies on multinational corporations. I was always busy on my computer. Sometimes I will study until 3 a.m. preparing for group presentation, and I missed home quite a lot. And early in the morning, I would speak with my father, telling him that I was about to go to bed because I had been reading throughout the night. My mother always reminded me that it was important to pray at all the times and to pray without season. It was in the university library that I first saw her. I was busy scanning shelf J. It was the finance section when I heard that there was someone that spoke with me. Excuse me. I turned around and I saw that there was this other beautiful woman. So I thought that maybe she was also from my country. Then I spoke with her in Shona and she was like, no, I don't understand. And she was like, sorry to bother you. Do you know where they keep the textbooks? She wanted the microeconomics textbooks. And from her accent, judging by her accent, I knew that she was from Nigeria. She was so beautiful and we started talking. I did not even waste time. I then told her that I was so much into her, and to my surprise, with the way that she was beautiful, she told me that she felt the same about me. As we were talking, I noticed that she never wanted me to call her by her first name, but she would want me to say princess. She was like, please call me princess. So she started to teach me a lot of stuff. And she told me that back in her country, her grandmother was a Marine Kingdom priestess who communicated with the daughters of the sea. So it's like in our country, we have those ladies that call themselves the marine spirit girls, those ones that will tell you that they get possessed sometimes by the spirits from the river. It is the same thing. And she was like, her grandmother, she was a priestess, in which if it was in our country, that would be like a sangoma that will be using the spirits from the river. So the more that she spoke with me about this, the more that I wanted to know, because she was very judgmental when it came to the things of the spirit. She asked me about the way that we do ancestral worship in Zim, and I was like, no, I don't know anything about it, because I am a Christian. I was raised as a Christian. My parents, they are Christians. And she was like, so it means that as a black person, you hate yourself, you are supposed to know these things. And she wanted to know more about it. And then she started to give me books, a lot of books that I would read that has a lot of things to do about occultism. And the more that I kept on reading those books, the more that I got interested in the spiritual realm. I really wanted to know if the spiritual realm was for real. And I was in love with this girl. I remember the day when she asked me if I really wanted to know if the spiritual world was for real. I went to her apartment. We ate jollof rice and chicken on that night, and she was like, do you believe in a power that is much greater? And I was like, yeah, can you teach me? She started to teach me about the vibrations of the universe, and she said, let me show you something. So she had already stripped herself naked, like she was manipulating me using sex and her beautiful body. We were in her living room where we used to sleep. She never wanted me to go and sleep with her and have sexual encounters with her in the bedroom, until that night when she said, I want you to come to my bedroom with me tonight. See, she seduced me such that when we entered into her bedroom, she was like, I will show you something. And she wanted me to join her in the Marine Kingdom. And then she led me to this place like it was just a small braai stand. But then there was a little coffin that she claimed to have been given, that coffin, by her grandmother, and she brought it to Canada. And she was like, her bedroom was the altar, and if I was going to be part of the Marine Kingdom, then she will allow me to have sexual intercourse with her on her bed. And I was concentrating on her beautiful hips, on her beautiful breast, her beautiful face, so much that as she spoke, as she asked me questions, all that I could do was like, yes, 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 yes. So she showed me all the items that she used for rituals. This belonged to my grandmother. I am a princess of the Marine Kingdom. The spirits, they teach us about rituals and sacrifices. And I was like, yes, yes, yes. All that I was thinking about was making love to the woman that I wanted. That was when she went to the bathroom. She came with a glass. So this glass, it was deep blue in color. Where she got the water that she poured into that small glass, I really do not know. She was like, if you want to have sex with me on the bed, then I want you to drink this, she said. And she told me that it was blessed sea water to open up my mind. She gave me and I drank without even thinking twice. And then that was when she said, welcome, my love. And we made love on that night like no man's business. So this girl that I was dating, even though she used to love to have long nails, those artificial nails, but on that night it was as if her nails were as sharp as knives, because as we were making love, she scratched me all over as if she was a little demon. The next morning, I woke up in her arms and I was so tired. The way that we made love, I had never made love to a woman like we did. Over the next week, she made sure that she taught me a lot of things, and she would always use sex to make sure that I would join her in things that I did not even want. She kept on saying, if you want me, if you want this love, then you have to join me in the marine kingdom like fool. You do not have to be in half and half out. You need to be with me, Tawanda. And then the night that we performed this other ritual, we went into town. She bought a white gown that looked like a wedding dress, and she also bought one for me and 3 candles. And then she had a small dish that was full of cow's blood, and she gave me a knife and she said, Tawanda, I want you to cut your hand. So I cut the palm of my hand, not too much, and then there was blood that fell into that small dish that contained the cow's blood. She did the same, and she told me that you see the power in your life, now vow your spirit to mine. So it meant that me and her, we were going to be together forever. And she said, repeat these words: I give my spirit, my strength, my destiny to her, and the daughters of the sea, can they be mine? And she told me to repeat those words, and she did the same. So I kept on performing all of these rituals because all that I could think about was being with this woman. Her beauty, it was unmatched. She started to teach me a lot of herbs to curse and herbs to bless. She taught me about using sea salt, and she taught me money rituals that will bring me financial blessings. She was like, you are going to graduate top of your class, you're going to secure a job. And indeed, I secured a job at this other major bank where I got an internship. But with each and every ritual, there was more things that was needed. We got a goat from a local butcher and we went with it into the forest. It's either we will get a live goat, late at night we will go and then we will slaughter that goat in the forest, but it will be me, her, and other girls at the campus, as well as other people that were Satanists that were staying in that neighborhood where I was staying. So when we will go into the forest, we will be told to tie the goat to a tree. And when you will be busy tying the goat to the tree, you will hear creatures that will be growling. They will be perched high up in the trees, and the moment that you will step away from that goat, you will see creatures that looked like spiders, but those that had the heads of human beings. They will start to eat that goat until nothing was left. Even if it was a dead goat already, they will eat everything. Some of these scary creatures, they would even come out of the soil, not knowing where they came from. I kept on performing all of these rituals, and she made me to do a ritual that made everyone to be attracted to me. And we dated. When she saw that I was into everything that she made me to do, that was when she told me that she was a free agent. She could sleep with any guy that she wanted, and I was also free. I was happy because she told me that I now had a gift to sleep with any woman that I desired. So there were girls that were quite hot that I wanted. Speak with them only once, and I would take them to their bed and sleep with them. So she would make other guys to join, and I will also make other girls to join Satanism. And she'll be like, that girl, she is a gift. We are supposed to get her on our side. Little did I know that with each and every ritual that I performed, I was stepping deeper and deeper into a world that was cruel and evil. I did not even know that demons, they have a deep hatred for us human beings. For demons, they are an offspring of what happened between a fallen angel and the daughter of a man. So they are an indirect creation of God, because two creations of God, they met and they had an offspring that was never supposed to be there. So these demons, they know that they are not counted as part of the creation, but rather they are just an offspring. So they hate us because we were created directly by God. I did not know that. I was so happy and excited about all these demons that we could summon, all the demons that we would send to the people that we would have cursed. Then the night came when she was not around. I was sleeping alone in my apartment. It was at 3 a.m. when I heard a voice. So this was the voice of a woman who was like being tormented, who was scared. She was crying in pain. She was sorrowful. I heard that demonic woman. She was inside my ceiling and she was like, Tawanda, Tawanda, as she was calling me. And then I felt my heart beating so fast. I woke up, then I sat up and I saw that all my blankets, like that demonic creature, had taken all of my blankets and folded the blankets, including the pillow. When I woke up, I heard the voice again, but this demonic woman, she was no longer in the ceiling, but she was standing right next to me, even though she was invisible. I just heard Tawanda, closer this time, as if this woman, she was whispering directly into my ear. It was so scary. That was when I heard a voice as if my mother, she was shouting on a megaphone. If you know it, Brother Nashi, my mother at that time, she was busy praying back in Africa and I was here in Canada being possessed and tormented by that demon. I heard a voice saying, Holy Spirit, protect your son. Holy Spirit, protect your son. And I could not even find my phone. When I found my phone the next morning, to my surprise, there were too many missed calls from my mom and many messages. She was like, Tawanda, where are you? Where are you? I then spoke with my mother and she told me to pray, to continue praying. I wanted to tell my mother on that day exactly what had been going on, that I had joined this occultic marine kingdom and now I was being tormented by demons that would whisper my name from the ceiling. Just when I was about to tell my mother that I had joined that occultic club, and then that girl from Nigeria, she called me because at that time she was out of the country. She was like, I know what you want to do. Please do not tell her. Promise me that you are not going to tell her. And she was like, I have already booked a ticket and by tomorrow I am going to be there with you. I want you and we are going to be together. Just let me return back to Canada, for I want to be with you and I want you to tell your mom when I am there with you. I want to listen to you as you will be busy telling your mom. So this woman then seduced me so much that I did not even think about it and I did not even tell my mom anymore. So when this girl came back, she then told me that she wanted to surprise me. We then went to this other hotel and after we had our dinner date, then she was like, how about we just sleep at this hotel? We then went to our hotel room, which she had booked. When we entered into the room, surprise, surprise, there were red candles all over the place, like it was romantic. To someone who had not yet joined the occultic club will think that maybe what was there, the way that the design of the room, it was something that was going to be a romantic night with the candles on the floor, flower petals on the bed. But no, I knew that this was a ritual that was supposed to take place. She then said to me, you know, you always wanted to be intimate with a demon. So this girl, whenever I will be sleeping with her, what will happen is that there will be a demon that will come and enter into her body. And after that demon will have entered into her body, then she will start to make love to me, and she will make love to me when she is possessed. That feeling of making love to a woman that is possessed, that is the most wonderful thing that can ever happen to you as a man. And when she said, you always wanted to be intimate with a demonic woman, this is the night, Brother Nashi, I got so excited. And then she said, let us wait. Then we got into bed. When we got into bed, there was a knock on the door. There were some guys that came. These guys walked into the room. How they had gotten into the hotel whilst they were holding those big mirrors, I really do not even know. So these big mirrors, they were quite big, and it was 4 of them, and they had wooden frames. And then they placed these mirrors around the bed such that me and her, we could see each other in the mirror all around us. It's like we were making love whilst we were looking at each other in the mirror. As we were busy touching each other, as we were having foreplay, then I went on top of her and I had my manhood inside of her. That was when she said, "Look to the side." And then when I looked into the mirror, that was when I saw that they were creatures that were looking at us. This mirror, they were showing us another world, and they were very beautiful creatures that were females that were inside of those mirrors, and they were naked. It's like they were wearing beautiful see-through night dresses that made them to look so sexy, and they started walking towards us. That was when she said, "Let us make love." We made love, and those demonic women, they walked out of the mirror, and then they started to touch me, and I slept with all of those demonic creatures throughout the night. When I woke up, it was late in the afternoon. I was so tired, but I had so many scratches on my manhood, scratches even on my body, such that we did not check out of the hotel on that day because I was tired, exhausted, and I had too many scratches all over my body. And then the next day, that was when we checked out. What started happening to me was that I did not want to go to church. I would avoid having discussions about prayer meetings with my mother. Then when this girl was not around, since she was now dating other boys and she was done with me because I was already part of her world, and she started to focus on another guy that she wanted him to join the marine kingdom. So whenever I was alone, I would be tormented by demons. I then said, I do not want this anymore, because what will happen is those demons, as they were tormenting me, I will start to lose my own mind, going insane. I then spoke with my mother and I said that I was missing home and I just wanted to return back home just for a little while. When I returned back home, Brother Nashi, I did not even know that it was the devil that was forcing me to return back to Africa, for there was a pastor that was supposed to die, and it was a mission that was being given to me. I only found out that this was a mission after I had started sleeping with the pastor's wife. I returned back to Zim, and when I returned back to Zim, that was when I was taken to church by my mother. And after church, as we were greeting each other, my mom took me to the pastor and the pastor's wife. They both greeted me. But when I greeted the pastor's wife, later on she confessed to me. She said, Tawanda, that time when you were holding my hand, I felt like I was making love to a man and I enjoyed everything. So this woman, she was already into me, and I did not know that she was the weak link that the devil had selected so that the pastor can die. Later on, she came to our house, pretended to pray with my mom, to have a Bible study with my mother. Then this other day, this woman, she came as usual, and she had pulled a wire from her car in the engine. She said she just pulled out a wire from the engine, hoping that she was going to have a breakdown. So after she had a Bible study with my mom, when she tried to switch on the car, it refused. And then that was when we went out. It was my mom who said, how about you go with her using your father's car? Along the way, that was when she was like, Tawanda, you are very handsome and I am in love with you. I don't know what I am going to do if you return back to Canada before we sleep together. She was like, right now, I just want you. And she started crying. That was when I knew that I had a mission that I had been given, and I slept with that lady. So whenever I would sleep with that lady, what I will do is I would go to the cemetery and I would collect soil from the graveyard. Before going to meet up with her, then I will take the soil and then wash my manhood using water and the soil that I would have collected from the graveyard, and then I would go and sleep with him without wiping my manhood. And I had other missions as well that had forced me back to Africa. I would regularly meet up with traditional healers who will tell me that they had visions and they will be told to go and wait at a certain area. And I will also have the same vision. A voice will tell me to go and wait in a certain area, for there is a man that will come that I am supposed to strengthen. I will go with the traditional healer to the graveyards, and then I will take soil. And I used to sleep with these people that I was strengthening. If it was a pastor, if he was a man, and if he came to me, if he had been sent in a vision, and if he came to me and to tell me that he was sent to me so that I can strengthen him, and then I will take him to the graveyard where I will proceed with him to a guest house, and then I will make love to that man. If it is a man or a woman, I will just sleep with him. That was a way of strengthening that person that had been sent to me. Even sangomas, I used to sleep with them, strengthening them. Even those white garment prophets as well as prophetesses, they would come to me and we will go to the guest house and I will sleep with them, giving them spiritual powers. But I saw that what I was doing was not a good thing, and I learned that when you are being controlled by the devil, when you work for the devil, you think that you are safe from demons. You are not safe, for there is a time when you are even possessed, under the possession of demons, being tormented, until I said, God, I cannot do this anymore, and I stopped being a Satanist. I am still fighting to get my soul from the devil himself. Dear listeners, right there was a narration of a message that was sent to me by one of our brother right there, who was saying that he was once a Satanist. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Let us try to talk about this issue in the comment section. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world.